Are you enjoying and benefiting from Ar-Rahmah TV? Use the link below to support us in creating more content that will be a sadaqah jariyah for you, inshaAllah.
أن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدًا عبده ورسوله صلوات الله وسلامه عليه تسليما كثيرا أما بعد فإن خير الكلام كلام الله وخير الهدى هدى رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم وشر الأمور محدثاتها وكل محدثة بدعة وكل بدعة ضلالة وكل ضلالة في النار. In this part of the Khutbah al-Hajj that the Prophet would say every single week to the Muslims sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and he would add on to it from the Khutbah al-Jum'ah if he wanted to give some kalam to people if something was important, he would say this Khutbah al-Jum'ah every single Friday. And in the Khutbah al-Jum'ah is the statement that the best kalam is the kalam of Allah. And the best speech is the speech of Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. That's al-itlaq. The best speech is the speech of Allah Azza wa Jal. So we make istidlal first and foremost with what Allah revealed in the Quran. And we make istidlal secondarily with what the Prophet brought sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. And what he brought is following, is tabi'ah to what Allah revealed. And the best guidance is what the Nabi brought, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Ma istihsan, your istihsan. Ma ijtihad, your ijtihad. When it goes against the kalam of Allah and the guidance of the Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, we should do what those imams told us to do. Take my words and take my statements and throw it against the wall. Don't pay attention to it. So from the guidance of the Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa ala alihi wa sallam was to command the people to that which will bring them to the Jannah and prohibit them from that which will bring them to the hellfire. So on this day, the first Friday in the sacred month of Muharram, the month that Allah called it, His Prophet called it sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, Shahrullah al-Muharram. This is the month of Allah because of its sharaf. It's an important month in Al-Islam. It's from the 4 sacred months. From his guidance that I want to share with you, this first Friday of the sacred year of Al-Islam, 1444, 1,445 years since the Hijrah from Mecca to Al-Medina. I don't want to say Happy New Year's, just as I don't say, Jum'ah Mubarak. I'm not going to say Happy New Year's. I wish for you every minute of the rest of your life, barakah in it and khair. Every minute, every second for the rest of your life, I wish and pray that it is one filled with barakah, one filled with happiness, one filled with success. As for me, Abu Usamah, coming and copying these kuffar who have nothing to do with their religion, they do whatever they want to do with their religion, istihsan from their own heads. So they say to each other, Happy New Year's, and they don't mean it. Happy New Year's, and it's just kalam, that's all. And we follow them because we get affected by them. So there are some people who believe we're doing ihsan by every single Friday sending Jum'ah Mubarak to people every Friday. Every Friday. Wallahi alladhi la ilaha ghayruhu. If there was some khair in that, the Nabi of Islam sallallahu alaihi wasallam would have preceded us to it. His companions, ridwanullahi alayhim, after him would have proceeded. Al-Islam is not need of. Abu Usamah coming, Johnny come lately. After 1,000 years, I come and I figure out I should say to the Muslims, Happy holidays, merry Jum'ah and other than this. So I'm not saying that. But from the first khutbah, what I want to bring to your mind, and I see and know that there are a number of our shabab who would normally be in school, but they're here today for today's Jum'ah. So I want to address a very important issue that affects all of us, and it will continue to affect you for the rest of your life. So we have to be on top of it. And that is the fact that Allah Ta'ala has described the human beings, and He knows the human beings better than everybody else. And He said in the Quran, إِنَّ الْإِنسَانَ لِرَبِّهِ لَكَنُودٌ وَإِنَّهُ عَلَى ذَلِكَ لَشَهِيدٌ وَإِنَّهُ لِحُبِّ الْخَيْرِ لَشَدِيدٌ. Verily, mankind is very ungrateful to his Lord. They are Muslims, but they have kufr, and that they make kufr of the ni'mah. النِّعْمَةَ الَّتِي لَا تُحْصَى. He doesn't pray. He doesn't do the right thing. She doesn't wear hijab. Verily, mankind are extremely ungrateful to their Lord. And verily, they bear witness on that themselves. They don't need the malaik or the jinn. They don't need the earth. They don't need each other to prove that. He proves that himself on a daily basis. And then Allah mentioned the third ayat. And verily He is, as it relates to money, lashadid. The scholars of Islam said that the third ayat coming here goes to show that the adam al-shukr, the fact that people are not grateful, one of the biggest factors, if not the biggest factor, is money and loving money and the dunya. The money is what causes him not to follow the truth, causes him to do what he knows is not the correct thing. And that's why when those prophets and those messengers used to come to their people, salawatullahi wa salamu alayhim ajma'in, wa qalu nahnu aktharu amwalan wa awladan wa ma nahnu bimu'adhabin. They said to those prophets, hey, get out of here. We have more money than you, and we have more children than you. We have more of the dunya than you do. More money, more children, and we're not going to get punished. That's what they said. We don't believe in Yawmul Hisab. We don't believe in Yawmul Qiyamah. And that's why we act the way we act. That was their statement to the prophets and the messengers. Who are you? I have more money than you. It's not about money. Some of them even went further and they said, and if there is Yawmul Qiyamah, I'm going to have more money and more children there than you as well. So that's the way the people are. The reason why they have kufr of the ni'mah, the biggest one, is because of the dunya. Isn't it Allah who gave you the children? Isn't it Allah who gave you the money? Isn't it Allah who gave you the good health? Isn't it Allah who gave you what He gave you? It's not about what you did and how you did it. So the vast majority of people, ikhwani, are going to navigate in the wrong way as it relates to collecting money, as it relates to what they do with the money. But the Prophet taught us many things in our religion as it relates to money. One of the things I want to bring to your attention is that the Muslim has to understand about the qadr and its relationship with your money. In the hadith of Abdullah bin Mas'ud, may Allah be pleased with him, the Prophet says, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, thumma yursalu ilayhi al-malak fayanfakhu fihi al-ruh thumma yu'mar bi arba' kalimatin bi katab rizqihi wa ajlihi wa amalihi wa sa'idan aw shaqi. One of you is brought forth in his mother's womb for 40 days as sperm, and then 40 more days, 80 days, you are a leech-like clot. And then 40 more days, 120 days, you become a morsel of flesh, like my fist. And then Allah Azza wa Jalla sends the angel to his mother's stomach. And the angel is told to breathe into that 120-day-old piece of morsel of flesh, breathing into it the ruh, and now it's alive. And write down 4 things. One of the things that is written down after 120 days is your rizq. how much money you're going to make, how much money you're going to count, how much money you're going to smell, how much money you're going to see, how much money is going to be in your pocket. Every single pocket that you ever wore clothes, it's going to be written how much money was in that pocket on that day, how much money was stolen from you, how much money you gave in sadaqah, how much money you took as a loan. All of that is written. So lying and cheating is not going to increase that. Acting in a way that's not correct is not going to increase that at all. The Prophet stood before the people, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, serious issue. He was weary. He was worried. He told those people, Ya ayyuhan nas, inna ahadikum alaykum tattaqi Allah. You gotta fear Allah azza wa jal. Fa inna nafsan lan tamut hatta tastawfi rizqaha wa in abta'a anha. فاتقوا الله وأجملوا في الطلب خذوا ما حل ودعوا ما حرم. Oh, you people, go after money and go after it. Once you get it, use it in a good way, in a beautiful way, in a respectable way, a way of izzah. Don't use it like a person who has no honor, like the woman who wants to get money in prostitution. Like the man who wants to get money and he's also doing prostitution to make money. That's a person who has no izzah. What's wrong with you? And that's an extreme example. Don't go after money by lying and cheating. The land is not your land. It's an amana. That land belongs to your other relatives, your brother and your sisters. Stop lying. In America, the culture is, when you go to the petrol station, you don't have to get out of your car. They pump the gas. Needless to say, there are a lot of Muslims who work at the gas station, at the petrol station. It's from the culture that there are 10 cents. Used to be that a long time ago. Maybe it's 20, maybe it's 50. That when you first start pumping the gas, the person who owns that petrol is going to take 50 pence before anything goes on the thing, because they rigged the machine. So that's my business. I work for them? No, because day after day after day after day, after a year's time, you done stole tens of thousands of dollars from people. You stole a lot of money. The Prophet was sitting with his companion, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He said to the people, Inna Jibril qad atani wa alqa fi raw'i أن أحدكم لن يخرج من الدنيا حتى تستكمل رزقه. Jibril came to me and he inspired me, told my mind, told my intellect, inspired inside of my spirit. And he told me, Ya Muhammad, none of them will die until he gets all of the money that was meant for him. Not one pence. One red pen, blue, round, brown, it won't miss you by, whatever the currency is. So the Muslim has to fear Allah Azza wa Jal. He has to have some honor. Part of the honor in Islam is the upper hand that's spending is better than the lower hand that's receiving. So the honor is, I don't want any kafir to take care of me. I don't want any kafir to be in a position to come and look me in my eyes and to say, I'm taking care of you because you're lying, taking money from them. No. If you are a muwatin here and you're here legally, you have a right to the musa'ada. But to lie and to be lazy or to live off of a woman, and every time she has a baby, she goes and lies, where's the father? She says he's a bastard. The baby is Ibn Zina, a bastard. I don't know, born out of wedlock. That's no izzah. That's the mushkila of the dunya. The Prophet told the people, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and this is important. Man kanat ad-dunya akbar hammihi ja'ala Allahu faqruhu bayna aynayhi wa farraqa alayhi shamluhu wa lam ya'tihi min ad-dunya illa ma quddira lahu. Anyone who his main goal and his main objective is, I gotta get money. I just want to make money. I want to add on to the zeros. I need more money. I just want more money. And that's all he doesn't worry about a fraction of that. Concern how to pray. He doesn't give his deen a fraction of that. He'll go to Hajj. He doesn't know what he's doing, and he doesn't care. He'll come to Jummah. He doesn't know what he's doing. She wears the hijab. She doesn't know what a hijab is. Nothing about the deen. But when it comes to the dunya, he can take an engine out and put it back in with his eyes blindfolded. With his eyes blindfolded. And there's nothing wrong with that, but not at the expense of your deen, not at the expense of the deen. So the Nabi of Islam, Dawood, salawatullahi wa salamu alayhi, back to that hadith. Anybody who the dunya is the most important thing to him, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to put his poverty right before his eyes. It's going to make him poor. And even if he has money, he won't taste the lizzah of the money. Even if he had money, he can't trust people. He's always worried about being poisoned. He's worried about being kidnapped. He's worried about his children being kidnapped, especially in the Muslim world. In Africa, other than that, he has some money, but he got a lot of debtors on his back. Always worried. What if he dies? What's going to happen? He's always with hum and gham. Anybody who the dunya is the most important thing to him, and money, Allah will put poverty right between his very eyes, and Allah will scatter his affairs. And there's nothing that's going to come to him of the dunya except what has been written for him. The dunya will come to you, as he says, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, وَهِيَ رَاغِمَةٌ. The dunya will come to you despite itself. It can't keep itself back from what Allah Ta'ala has decreed. So the Nabi of Islam, Dawood, salawatullahi wa salamuhu ala nabiyyina, he mentioned a reality for most of the people that I want to bring to your attention, because some of you sit there and you are thinking about the man who you gave a loan to, and he owes you that money. But that's all you're thinking about. You're not thinking about who you owe a loan to. You're not thinking about your mother and your father who have a haqq as it relates to your jaib. You're not thinking about the ex-wife and those children who you're still responsible for. You're not thinking about the one who you got married to her and she still didn't get her dowry. You're married, you're divorced, she still didn't get it. You know, everybody's sitting there. You have to look at yourself. You have to look at your condition and your situation, Abu Usamah, with Allah as it relates to money. How did he get it? How did he spend it? Who has a haqq on him? Dawood, salawatullahi wa salamuhu, said in the Quran, إِنَّ كَثِيرًا مِنَ الْخُلَطَاءِ لَيَبْغِي بَعْضُهُمْ عَلَى بَعْضٍ إِلَّا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَعَمِلُوا الصَّالِحَاتِ وَقَلِيلٌ مَا هُمْ. Verily, many of the khulata, the shuraka, people who are sharing in money, many of them, people who are responsible for sharing in money, like a man and his salary, what he's making. My wives sharing that money. My children sharing that money. The masjid sharing that money. Relatives sharing that money. My salary. People who have a business. He has a business, he's renting the business. He has workers. The worker and the owner of the business, they're sharing in that money. Dawood said many of the people, when they are sharing money, most of them oppress one another, except those who believe in Allah on the last day, and how few they are. They are the minority. The majority of the people, may Allah help us, the majority of the people, they don't take care of the haqq of the money. So that's as it relates to this issue. This is the month of Allah, the month that is Muharram. And Muharram is a sacred month that the Kuffar Quraysh used to try to respect people, respect their honor. They used to try to respect even their money during this time. They tried not to steal people's money. They tried to repay the people. So in the first khutbah of the Islamic Hijri calendar, the call here is fear Allah as it relates to how we get the money. Fear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as it relates to spending the money, not spending the money, being people who are cheap and so forth and so on. The Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam, again, ikhwani, being interactive with his companions. He asked those awliya radiyallahu anhum, إذا فتحت عليكم فارس والروم فأي قوم أنتم؟ Abu Bakr, Umar, Uthman, Ali, Ukasha, Bilal, Abdurrahman ibn Auf, Sa'd ibn Abi Waqqas. If you Muslims were to conquer Persia and Rome, these people with all this money, the Persians used to have an army. They used to have an army where they can send out 100,000 soldiers to fight any particular war, like they did the war of Al-Qadisiyah. 100,000. Can you imagine how many people were back in Persia? And the Muslims would go and meet those people with 15,000 soldiers. And they weren't even trained like that, radiyallahu anhum. But they went to deal with them. If you people conquer Persia and Rome, if you conquer America, if you were to conquer some of these rich countries, how are you going to be? What kind of Muslims do you think you're going to be? Abdurrahman ibn Auf was a wali from the awliya of Allah. He had knowledge. He's not going to talk based upon dhan, speculation. He said, Ya Rasulullah, kunna kama amarana Allah, khayran nas. We're going to be as Allah told us to be. We're going to be from the best people. The Prophet said, أو غير هذا? Maybe it's something else. تتنافسونها ثم تتحاسدون ثم تتدابرون ثم تتباغضون. No, if this happened during your time, and he wasn't talking about the companions, radiyallahu anhum, he was talking about this ummah. How do you think the ummah is going to be once you start getting money? He said, I tell you how you're going to be. You're going to start chasing after and competing with each other for the money. And once you do that, you're going to start becoming jealous and you have hasad. You're going to say, why did Allah give him and he didn't give me? Why does he have and I don't have? I don't like him because this, and the hasad. He said, and once you have hasad, you're going to start turning away from people, making a tadabur. I saw with my own eyes, masjids. This is their description. The shura of the masjid, between themselves, they hate each other. I saw a whole dawah to the Quran and the Sunnah, za'amu. It's just about getting money. And as a result of that, there's hasad. As a result of that, people start going after the power. As a result of that, people start boycotting one another. And then people start to hate one another. In this masjid, right now as I talk, there are people here who are being oppressed by their relatives, fighting over money. It's the reason that most of us have beef with other people. The dunya, Muslims and non-Muslims alike. So this is the condition of what the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam has informed is going to happen to our community. So I want to say to each one of you brothers and each one of you sisters, it's not something impossible for the Muslim to just navigate based upon the Quran and the Sunnah to the best of your ability. Don't let the dunya be the most important thing to you. I'm telling you, I know people who, they can do some miraculous things as it relates to the dunya. When it comes to a computer, when it comes to IT, when it comes to things like that, he is second to none. In the university, he's a professor, he's teaching, he knows what he's doing. He has itqan, he knows what he's doing. But when it comes to the religion, he is like a little child, dependent upon the Malvi Sahib, dependent upon the Imam, when in reality his intellect is sharper than the intellect of the Imam. And the Imam himself is sending people astray with his khurafat and his innovation and his foreign understanding of the religion. And that individual is educated. Don't be of the people who don't know how to get money, what's halal, what's haram, how to go about it, what not to do, what you should do, and so forth and so on. Which brings me to this issue. The religion has told us many things, do's and don'ts, as it relates to money and halal and haram. Some of you, I understand, are fighting. You're at odds. We're at each other's neck. Our religion told us, don't love money to that degree. Let it go. Allah Azza wa Jal, and I'm speaking to a certain group of people right here, right now, today. وَإِن كَانَ أُسْرَةً, that's what Allah Ta'ala said. وَإِنْ كَانَ ذُو أُسْرَةٍ فَنَذِرَةٌ إِلَى مَيْسَرَةٍ وَأَنْ تَصَدَّقُوا خَيْرٌ لَكُمْ إِن كُنْتُمْ تَعْلَمُونَ. If you have loaned money to someone, Ya Abdullah, and he didn't give you your money back, then Allah Ta'ala said, if the man is having difficulty, then extend the period that you agreed he should pay. Extend it. But to give him sadaqah and let the debt go is better for you if you only knew. That's what the Prophet used to do. He heard two companions arguing. They were arguing, fitting of the money. And he could hear them from his house. He put his head out, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and he said, hey, you two, mutakhasiman, hey, you two, stop arguing right here. As for you, the one who took the money, and you owe the man, hurry up and give him his money. And then he said to the one who gave him the debt, he said, as for you, make it half. Make it half. Because that half that you are foregoing will cause this man to cool out. And Islam wants you to be family members. Islam doesn't want you, Allah doesn't want you to be at each other's neck. Family members hating each other, uncles and aunties, cousins, brothers and sisters. The Prophet was in the marketplace, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And back then, they didn't carry around with them money and paper. Things used to be weighed. And one of the honorable positions in the marketplace is the man who was the wazan. What is a wazan? He's the one who has the mizan. That's all his job is. He carries around his weights. A weight, the one that, with the two, the scales. That's his job. He just walks in the marketplace or he stays in a place. Anybody who needed him would pay him to use his mizan. Prophet came upon one of them, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and told that man, zin wa arjih, weigh for the people. And when you weigh for the people, give a little more. When this man comes to buy from me a kilo, he is the mushtari and I'm the ba'i. He comes to buy from me a kilo. You, the one with the mizan, give him a little more than the kilo. Give him a little more. Why? Because something may be wrong with my mizan. Knowledge from me or no knowledge, it's manual. So as to not be responsible Yawm al-Qiyamah, it's better to be safe than sorry. That's how the Nabi was, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Give him a little bit more. Don't be one of those people who are cheap. You want all of yours, but you don't give the other people. He made a dua and he said, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, rahimallahu rajula, samhan idha ba' wa samhan idha ishtara wa samhan idha iqtada, yani qada daynuh. May Allah have rahmah upon the person who, when he buys from people, he's easy. He's easy. He's not rough and tough. And also may Allah have rahmah upon the seller who is easy. We want to be shrewd businessmen. Shrewd businessmen, that's not something Allah wants. He wants you to be a businessman who has itqan and taqwa. Be a good businessman. Hadiq. Know what you're doing. But shrewd, no mercy for anyone, never can give anybody anything extra. No, for the buyer and the seller. He goes to the store and he buys something. They give him change. There is a little thing for extra change to be given to the workers. He puts it in there. He puts it in there. 5 pence, 10 pence, 20 pence. Because the idea with him is not, I'm going to lose out. He wants to be samhan when it comes to buying and selling. The guy who owns the store, he gives you a break. It costs 10 pounds. The man has 9 pounds and 55 pence. He says, okay, give me that, you can go. And he looks at that issue as something he gets close to Allah. Not that individual who is the dunya. I can't even let 20 pence go. If they get 20 pence on me, I feel like someone's trying to put me in slavery. I feel like someone's trying to attack me, my mother, my father, and all of my ajdad. And I'm going to say, be easy. And he's also easy when it comes to giving the deen. Listen. I know some of you people owe you money. People owe you money. But as long as they have your money, whatever amount of money that you gave to them and they passed the date that they should be paying, you should still tell them, give me my money, that's your haqq. But if you let it go, it's better for you. Let half of it go, it's better for you. But you don't have to. If you don't want to do that, then just know that your money that is with him, every single day he doesn't give you your money, it goes in sadaqah. It's as if you're giving sadaqah. So don't get mad like that. You want to take him to court? If that's up to you. I'm not telling you, just throw caution in the wind. That's up to you to decide. But instead of cutting your parents off, cutting your brother off, being nasty and mean about it, and incurring sins, he told the people, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and I'm finished, dabba ilaykum da al-umam min qablikum. It has creeped on you the disease of the people who went before you. And he said that disease is jealousy and greed. Jealousy and greed. He said it is the haliqa, will cut you. He said it's not the razor that will cut your hair, but it's the razor that will cut your deen because of the way you're acting, trying to get the money, the way you're acting in terms of your feelings. Let the man have it. Make it have. Or be patient with him. Be patient and just receive the zadaqah. It's like you having money saved up. Wherever you save your money, he has 1,000 pounds of your money as if it's saved up, and inshallah he'll give you your money. أقول قولي هذا واستغفر الله لي ولكم ونسأل الله تعالى التوفيق والسداد. الحمد لله حمدا كثيرا والطيبا مباركا فيه. Ikhwani, I want to make another point here as it relates to some of our Muslim businesses that are dealing with the food industry. I want to tell you that a lot of brothers and sisters who are waitresses and waiters, they don't make any money in a lot of these places, even with these non-Muslims. It's one of those businesses where you may not make a lot of money. So if you own that business where you have waiters and waitresses, fear Allah as it relates to them and give them their money. Before their sweat dries, give them their money. But us, the community of Muslims, when we go to restaurants, we shouldn't be bukhala. اتقوا الشح فإن الشح أهلك من كان قبلكم حمله على أن سفكوا دماءهم واستحلوا محارمهم. Beware of being stingy. Beware of having shuh and bukhul, because it destroyed the people who went before you. It caused them to shed each other's blood, and it caused them to make haram halal, cutting off his mother and father, cutting off his brother and sister, talking like that. Don't be stingy. So when we go to these places and we have robes on and hijabs on, we have beards and ignore we're Muslims, and we don't give waiters and waitresses any tip. May the rahmah of Allah be upon the man who, when he buys something, he gives a little extra. And plus, it's from the urf of these people. In Islam, if you went to the Muslim world and you didn't give a tip, that's okay. It's not the urf there. But still, you can break somebody off. But here in the UK and in America, here, that's the culture. That's part of the way that these people get their jobs, to get money. Some of them don't even get that from the owner. The owner takes all of that tip money. So I want to encourage you. This hadith, may Allah have rahmah upon the person, when he buys, he's easy. And when he sells, he's easy. Yeah, I only got 20 pounds. I know it costs 25 pounds. Wallahi, let me go. I'm a single mother. Let me go. He says, okay, you can have it. Now, obviously, he has to use his brain and can't be one of those people who people make it stick out of him. But for people to make it stick out of you is better than for you to be rough and tough with people, as the Nabi said. Be like the son of Adam that was murdered. Don't be like the son of Adam that did the murdering. Fear Allah Azza wa Jal as it relates to the dunya, ikhwani. Ad-dunya is a problem. It is a problem. المال والبنين زينة الحياة الدنيا والباقيات الصالحات. That is better with Allah Azza wa Jal. More thawab, and that is better in terms of what you'll hope Yawm al-Qiyamah. Go about getting the money in the correct way, and may Allah Azza wa Jal give us tawfiq, because if he doesn't make us successful, there's no success. أقم الصلاة يرحمكم الله.